What's up, guys? Greg Gallo finally made it to the last episode of The Defenders. I'm going to do a series review with Andrew from the Movie Source channel. I'll give my quick thoughts on the final episode after it's done, but yeah, I just want to watch this. Jessica.
Look, I don't give a shit what you guys are doing down here in your secret cave thing. I just came to talk.
This is really starting to feel like a 90s movie.
You started this.
Just the look and
Ever since you
vibe.
burst into my office, my life has become one big kung fu party. I don't want to fight you.
She pulled that line off really well.
Alone.
Oh, Tarzan. Oh, is it that fight from the trailer? Boom shakalaka. Man, the hand sucks at fighting. This guy's ironclad.
I know.
Do not bother wearing yourself out.
Man, I am so sick of watching these two. It's so repetitive.
I know your limits. There's no damage that you can do to me that can't be undone. Especially as the Iron Fist has already given us the ultimate gift. Life without end. I'll give you one last chance to experience it with me. To be who you were meant to be.
I don't need you anymore.
Aw, poor Bakudo. The hand is full of shitty fighters. Go back to like Daredevil and all that. Nice calling. Oh.
The hell did I just walk into?
Daughters of the Dragon. There it is. Oh, boom.
I'm dropping you.
Money shot, baby. Here it is. It's a tracking shot. I love how casual Luke Cage's. Nice.
They're gonna destroy the city. Tell me something I don't know.
Once they get what they want, this place is gonna crumble.
Not on my watch.
Where's Alexandra? She's dead.
Did you kill her?
No. She did.
Is that elevator the only way out here?
Yep. We can't leave. We have to end them.
We got a plan.
Yeah, it involves bombs. You're cool with bombs, right?
Oh, seriously?
They do not know how to whisper very well.
Danny, let it go. Now.
Hulk smash. Oh, that was a cool moment. Okay, that was cool. I like that a lot. That was cool. All right, you on board with the rap music? Nice. Oh. Good series of kicks, Daredevil. Ow! That was cool. Dude, this guy just needs to quit. He sucks. Oh. Kinda feels like Terminator 2.
Remember this?
Just like old times.
Damn, Danny, you just keep getting your ass handed to you. Oh no, the Iron Fist, she goes away.
Asshole, I will put you down.
Put him down. In the head. Why didn't he just kill her?
You disappoint me.
What else would you expect, Bakudo?
As a child, all you ever wanted was to belong to something. That's why I saved you, Colleen. Raised you. Because that same desire was once in me.
Oh, they're gonna kill Claire?
Well,
No.
mind you, you really are. I'm taking that away.
Whoa! Oh shit! Oh! God damn!
She's losing too much weight.
I'm gonna be doing a series review, but I'll give my quick thoughts on the episode. There were definitely stuff to like. There's stuff I definitely didn't really like in this episode. After it's all said and done, I guess my general consensus on this is that this show is, it's okay. It's better than good. It's not great. And in a lot of ways, it's kind of a letdown. I mean, I felt a combo of two things overall with this series, and I feel like the last two episodes really contribute to this. At times, it really feels like the show was being rushed because they only have 8 episodes. And then there were also times where it felt like the writers don't really care as much about this series as they do about the solo shows, which is why the first few episodes felt a little stretched, and then the last couple felt rushed. I mean, there's some scenes I liked in here. One of the highlight scenes for me was the scene when Karen and Trish are interacting with each other. I think it's a rewarding scene for fans of the show, with Karen being a victimized character, it turns into a character of strength, very similar to Trish's experience in the Jessica Jones show. While Trish has her radio show talking about events that are happening in New York, you know, Karen is a journalist talking about events that are happening in New York. And they're both very close to the main heroes of the shows they star in. It was a really cool scene. I thought the actresses did a really good job. It was kind of a quiet, subtle scene, but I thought they did a really good job working together. It's cool, you've seen the redhead and the blonde talk with each other. I mean, the big fight at the end had its moments. Like the big tracking shot, the Avengers shot, money shot. It was a cool shot, but I thought what they were doing wasn't that cool. What they're trying to do, like, make this feel like the Avengers, which is one of my issues with what I felt with this episode. But the tracking shot's similar to how they did in the Avengers. The tracking shot of the Avengers was sweet, and what they were cutting to, all the stuff they were doing was really cool. Here, everything they were showing that they were doing in the tracking shot was like, at the end, it's all right. I mean, when it switched into rap music, I thought the fight actually got better. Overall, the finale epic moments, it felt very corny. It felt very cheesy, man. I think I said it at one point. It sort of felt like I was watching a 90s movie. The last 2 episodes as a whole just sort of felt that way to me. The tone was just super off. Like, the tone of these characters' solo shows are much more serious, more gritty, more raw, very violent. And then the last 2 episodes kind of went into generic, conventional, cheesy superhero territory for me. And I feel like overall they couldn't really balance the tone and style of what we love so much from these solo shows, trying to also give us fan service by trying to be all super heroic like Defenders Assemble. You know, even this episode's called The Defenders, and they're shooting the scenes underground like it is supposed to be that, but I'm not really feeling that. And the fight just really solidified my opinion that the Hand just sucks. They don't seem threatening at all. They just, the most part, like, I don't know if all these people are part of the Hand specifically, or if they're just henchmen, but it just felt like they were taking out a bunch of henchmen. I mean, Daredevil's moments were still very cool. I just feel like for the big finale fight, you've been building up so much for the New York's about to crumble, and if you're not gonna give us New York's about to crumble and you're gonna give us this fight, give us a fight with a bunch of skilled warriors, not a bunch of henchmen. And I said this in the last episode, it really just does feel like Luke Cage and Daredevil could have handled this all on their own. It feels like Jessica Jones and Iron Fist just sped up the process. But I didn't feel, by the end of it all, that all four were super essential. It's really just the tone that missed the main mark for me, and it launched it into corny territory. I mean, Makuto and Colleen Wing fighting each other, I didn't find necessary at all. I didn't need it for the Defenders. It felt very repetitive from Iron Fist. I felt like they had that scene to set up Misty Knight, you know, with getting her arm cut off, because I remember seeing an image where she had a robotic arm. And I think in the comic, I read this a long time ago, I did not know this was gonna happen in the show, but I remember a long time ago that like her arm gets cut off. Iron Man actually, who gives her, Tony Stark is supposed to give her the bionic arm, but based off how they're setting it up in the show, that they have their own billionaire playboy, you know, Finn Jones, that he's probably gonna somehow help provide that. But in terms of Bakuto and Colleen Wing, it just felt like it's the same repetitive shit. But I mean, I like the setup for Misty Knight. I appreciated that. I mean, Iron Fist taking up the mantle to be the hero of New York from being inspired by Matt Murdock. It felt forced to me. I didn't really find their specific relationship, the dynamics they formed in this series, to be so important and highly valuable to Iron Fist. It's like, I know they respect each other and appreciate each other, but not to that degree. It felt like they were forcing in a comic book plot point that I'm vaguely familiar with, of Iron Fist sometimes pretending to be Daredevil to help conceal Matt's identity. I feel like they're trying to push that in there. And in Iron Fist, I think that's the green suit. It looked like the jumpsuit he had on at the end. Had an Elektra going at it, I felt could have been handled better too. Elektra, like, she's doing a good job with the performance, but the writing of it, man, is just so generic to me. And I'm also not a big fan of when shows or movies try to play out how a character dies, or like BVS with Superman, or even here, they don't play it out as long, but you know, with Daredevil dying. It's like, I know they're trying to show this is how it's affecting the characters, and I get that, but I'm like, you don't really need to try to fool the audience. I mean, one thing I can tell you is that this season finale got me excited for the other character solo shows. I mean, other than Luke Cage, it didn't really have a character arc or a wrap-up on Luke Cage. In some ways, the ending of this is disappointing because it had all these personal setups that the first two episodes really took their time to establish. You know, I wish we had a scene where Jessica Jones, I'm glad she's going back to work so we can continue her show where she opens up Alias. What about that whole relationship with the wife and daughter? Like, I felt like we should have had some type of conclusion on that. And Luke Cage getting involved because that kid from Harlem got killed, and no real wrap up there. And that was the whole like reasoning for why he got so personally involved. But I'm glad to see Jessica Jones going back to work, even though I felt a little forced here. Setting up Iron Fist to become an official vigilante for New York City is really cool. Misty Knight and Colleen Wing teaming up in Iron Fist, Daughters of the Dragon, looking forward to that. And the Daredevil ending note was cool. I read an interview with Charlie Cox before The Defenders was released that season 3 of Daredevil would possibly be inspired by the Born Again storyline from the comics. And I remember they talked about, like, you know, how his dad is Jack Murdock, and then reading up on Born Again that his mom Maggie is involved. So I'm assuming that when he says get Sister Maggie, that's his mom. That would just make the most sense based off what I remember from a couple months ago. Which gets me excited because we haven't seen any of Matt's mom in any of the Daredevil seasons. There was so much emphasis on his father and father figures that I'm excited to see, you know, like how his mom plays into his life. And Andrew just showed up. We're gonna shoot our Defenders review in a second. So yeah, I'm excited for the inclusion of that in Daredevil season 3. What I would have liked a little bit more from this show is for the Defenders series to have push these characters in a little bit more stronger directions. In the end, The Hand was very lackluster to me. The impact of the storylines wasn't as strong of a note to end on as I would have liked it, and the tone kept flip-flopping a lot for me. I feel like episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6 were at its best. And because don't get me wrong, episodes 1 and 2 at first I felt were a little dull, but episode 3 made it all worth it for me. But yeah, episode 3, 4, 5, and 6 I thought were amazing. Episode 7 and 8 didn't really hit the mark. Overall, I would say this show was good, not great. I got a film with Andrew from the Movie Source channel, the series review of this, so keep a lookout for that. I'm sure you guys will be excited to hear Andrew's opinion since he actually reads the comics and knows way more than I do, so go check out that video. Subscribe to The Real Rejects, click that notification bell, become a Patreon Reject today by checking out our Patreon. Peace.